the Bouge RV Solar. I noticed on the app that it was registering that the solar controller was overheating. If you have a Dinghy Caddy and you are still using the chains, go ahead and get yourself some of these.
I'm Cindy, and this is Shell. We sold everything and set off on an adventure, living and cruising on a boat named C-Shel. Click, subscribe, and sit back as we show you that it's possible for all of us to live an extraordinary life.
In the last episode, we showed you our new water maker as we swung on the hook at one of our favorite anchorages in Pipe Key. We mentioned then that we had a couple more things to talk to you about dealing with our Bouge RV Solar and our Dinghy Caddy. So let's fill you in on those as we hop north through the Exumas.
From Pipe Key, we cruise north to the mooring field at Warderick Wells in the Exuma Land and Sea Park. It's not the first time we've been there, and I'm sure it won't be our last.
All the best things that I've seen, and all the most wonderful views, all the best sights that I see with you. All the best nights I never slept, all the days I'm holding on to, all the best times that I've had with you.
Boo-Boo Hill. If you don't know, it's a tradition to do an artsy thing with your boat name on it and leave it at the top of the hill. We did it years ago by writing C-Shel on a conch shell. We have not seen it since. It must be buried under the hundreds of items left there since.
Okay, so the Bouge RV Solar. When we left Florida, things seemed to be okay, or at least we didn't notice anything. Probably because we were running every single day and we weren't minding our power consumption so much when we were going every single day because the batteries are being charged by the alternator. When we got into the Bahamas, we did notice, I was looking at the solar, see how they were performing. And I noticed on the app that it was registering that the solar controller was overheating. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with the unit. I talked to Bouge RV. They were very receptive and said, don't worry, we're going to have this fixed. I said, well, I'm in the Bahamas. I don't know what we can do from there. I don't want to go back to Florida to get a new unit if that was the case. We did some diagnostics. It was the solar controller. that was failing. My assumption is the solar controller was probably too small to begin with. So we had a 40 amp solar controller, and I think it was topping that out. So I think more power was coming in than the solar controller could really handle. Maybe it was handling it okay for a while, because last season it was working flawlessly, and then this year it just started overheating. So what Bouge RV did was send me out a new unit, but what they did was sent me a new 60 amp unit, and we installed that in Staniel Key because we had it shipped to Fort Lauderdale at Maker's Air there, and Maker's Air had it over here within a few days. It was just a quick swap, changed the lugs on the new one were a bit different, a bit more heavy duty actually. So I put new lugs on the wires and immediately noticed a huge difference. We were getting 45 amps at times coming in, or more, actually I limited the new Bouge RV solar controller to 45 amps, so it can do more. Obviously, it's a 60 amp charger, but I limited it because based on the wiring I currently have there, which was for the old solar controller, I didn't want my fuse that I have to the battery is 50 amp. That's what the cables can handle. So I limited the solar controller to 45 amps, and we've been making that all the time. So I think the panels, that if you go with 600 watts of these SIGS panels that Bouge RV has, you're going to want the 60 amp solar controller. The certified rating for these panels are 600 watts, well 200 watts a panel. And I'm seeing, during the height of the day, 650 watts coming in. And to me, I don't know if that's normal, but to me that seems pretty impressive. After over a year of use, they're producing over their manufacturer certified power. That's pretty good. So still really pleased with the SIGS panels. If you get 600 watt, if you get three 200 watt panels, you're gonna have to have the 60 amp solar controller, or a 60 amp solar controller of any manufacturer. So that's it for the solar. Very pleased with that. Next thing, we're going to go look at the Dinghy davit.
Before we dive into the Dinghy Caddy, let's chart a quick course north to Hawksbill and Shroud Key. We can't leave the Exumas without a stop to enjoy those sugary sandbars and gin-clear waters between Hawksbill and Shroud. We are going to try and soak in every last bit of this paradise.
We're walking together through any weather. You and I, side by side. We can't go anywhere when the sun is shining and the world is smiling. And it's you and I, side by side. It's even brighter together. When we're together, we are stronger. We can lift each other when we're falling. I got your back and you got mine. When we're side by side, when we're side by side.
So you guys seen the Dinghy davit on previous episodes. You've seen him working, and you've probably seen what we got from the manufacturer, big chains hanging off, and chains are what we would hang or attach to the dinghy and then lift it up. So 4 chains hanging from the Dinghy davit. And they were wrapped, they had some big plastic tubing around them, which is, I mean, it was fine. But this year, at the behest of our friends Paul on timeout, we've got some stainless steel coated cable, and he came over, helped me. He had the tools to properly put, the gear on this, but now we have proper coated with a beautiful little attachment on the beautiful little attachment to go on the dinghy. So it's really easy to set up. There's no more chains banging against the inside of the dinghy when I'm trying to put it up or attach it. It's just way simpler and much cleaner. You don't have big chains hanging off this even when the dinghy is not even attached. So if you have a dinghy caddy and you are still using the chains and you know how long those chains, the length needs to be for your dinghy to properly fit up in there, go ahead and get yourself some of these and make your life a whole lot easier. Anyway, that's it for maintenance, installs, and upgrades for our 2024 Bahamas season. I wonder what will be next year. I wanted.
Just north of Shroud Key, outside the protected waters of the Exuma Land and Sea Park, lies Wax Key Reef, a gem tucked away in the heart of the Exumas. This vibrant reef is teeming with life, from colorful coral formations to schools of tropical fish darting through the crystal clear water. The area is a snorkeler's dream, with a blend of shallow and deep spots that offer something for everyone, from seasoned divers to casual explorers. Timing is key here. To get the best experience, aim to visit around slack water, unless you're up for a drift dive. When the current is calm, it lets you get up close to the beauty of the Exumas, in a spot that's a true gem.
Long Key, our final anchorage before crossing to Nassau and then onward to Florida. This is our first time trying out this spot, and it's been a refreshing escape from the busier anchorages at Norman's and Highbourne Key. While we can imagine it might get some surge with winds from the north or northeast, we had nothing but blissful calm here. Plus, it's perfectly positioned near some incredible fishing, snorkeling, and even diving spots. A peaceful finale to our Exuma season.
Tough gets going. If it's you and I, side by side, it's a little bit easier. Together, when we're together, we are stronger.
As we wrap up our season in the Bahamas, we find ourselves looking eagerly toward the horizon, wondering what adventures the future holds. The winds of change are stirring, and with them comes a sense of anticipation. We've always believed that change is part of the journey, something to embrace and lean into. So here's to the next chapter, wherever those winds may take us.
Is that it? Are we done? Exit stage left? Okay.